you know how we normally get into it. I'm very interested in um how the original spark got you uh moving towards media and music.
Hmm.
Like was there, like, what's the journey like? Kind of walk us through like how you got to where you are today.
Well, I'll try and give somewhat of a shorter version because it has a lot of zigzags in it.
Of course. It's the way
um,
of the entrepreneur.
it's always the way.
Hmm.
So for me, our family was real transient. So my
Mm.
mom and pops, my pops is from the Memphis area, Mason, Tennessee. My mom's from the Birmingham area. So that gives you a little context, especially in the days of the civil rights movement and things of that of
Yeah.
of their influence. But my dad worked in government as a U.S. conservationist, USDA. So the thing with my pops is driven much like me and was always getting new opportunities and advancing in different ways within the USDA. So, he would get new positions and we would move. So I was born. I'm a PA product, Harrisburg, PA, capital city, home of
Okay.
LaShawn McCoy. Bishop McDevitt's my brother and sister went there.
Mm.
But we moved from there. I moved to Maine, of all places. If people know where Maine is,
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Right.
Like,
I
so
know there's not that much diversity in Maine.
yeah.
no,
Because
no,
of my
no,
day
there
job.
really isn't.
Right. I was
There
about to
really
ask you,
isn't.
like, you was like the only brother there, right? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
that's
I
crazy.
just recently looked up the demographics for some reason because I was retracing places I had been. I think their African American population was like 1.67%.
Yep. Sounds about right.
So myself, I was the only person of color in my school, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for my brother and sister. And we were there for 6 years.
Mm.
We were there, Brewer, Maine. From there, we moved to Champaign, Illinois, home of the Illini. I know I'm gonna get some hate from the
Mhm.
Badgers on that, but yeah, I went to a bunch of Illini functions. Went from there to Gaithersburg, Maryland, which is outside of the DC area,
Okay.
and was there for a little bit. And from there, moved to Madison, Wisconsin. Some people don't know I was actually here for 3 years of high school
That's right. That's right.
before
Really?
before I went to Marquette University, and I was in Milwaukee, and I was there for 16 years. And then I relocated from Milwaukee back here
Oh.
about, I think now, like 6 years ago.
When did you graduate from high school?
98. Why you dating me on the on the on the podcast? Y'all didn't cover that in the pregame.
Hey, we going deep, man. We going deep with you, man.
Yeah.
You can cover
We got
that,
to.
but yeah, it's the places and we'll get into it. The places I've been have had a heavy influence on my perception and how I interact with folks and how I view things, because I was slingshotted between diversity, non-diversity.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were.
Now, being in a place where it's like, oh man, people look
Mhm.
like me or fit in, and then a place where there's no diversity, where it's like, okay, I got to figure this out. How do
Yeah.
I navigate this? Because I don't have any examples or anybody to really guide me through this, and that has manifested itself a lot in my business and just how I interact with folks in general. But yeah, I've moved around a lot. Where the media thing came from, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a late bloomer. Music, I didn't really get the music bug until college. I did not play an instrument. I didn't play in the band. I didn't know anybody making beats. I wasn't around any per se rappers. And my roommate from California had this beat program or whatever called EJ. And I was like, what's this or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, it's just a beat program I play around with. It's mainly loops, but you get to like formulate and sequence all the loops and things in there. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. And then I went and did something I think it was called Mixman or something, which was like a DJ production slash hybrid. And before I knew it, I was like 100 beats in, 200 beats in. I was putting them on disc because you could burn discs.
Yeah, right,
Yes,
right.
yeah. That was the era of that.
Oh, yeah, you got
a big old stack of 100.
Right. I'm like, oh man, I get to play my own beats. So I'm in somebody's car. I'm like, yeah, pop in the disc or whatever. These are my beats. And so I'm doing that in college, and then as I'm
Mhm.
going to school, and I'm working,
Mhm.
I start to bump into people that's like, "Oh, yo, I rap, I do this. Like, do you
Yeah.
record?" And I'm like, "Nah, but maybe I could figure it out." So, I did a little research, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could. Let me go over here and buy this little 8-track, digital recorder." And I
Mhm.
got a little mic, and it was the first setup was crazy. Like I tried to do how you see all in the studios and the mic's hanging down and it looks
Yeah.
all cool and you got all this. So man, I had like this hanger or something that I put into the ceiling, and I had the mic come down off the hanger so you could get that vibe in the feel. And
Right,
I
right,
didn't
right.
have
Yeah.
monitors, so I was plugged into like, I guess you could call it kind of, it's not a boom box, but the little stereo with the box speakers and stuff like that. And I had it plugged in there. I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, we
Mhm.
got it. So I produced a short little I think it was a 4 or 5 track before it was EP. I guess you could still just call it an album.
Yeah.
At that time for my guy Mr. G. I used to work with him over at Mitchell Airport. And we got the cover art together and we start pushing it. And it was like, yeah, we should be doing more of this. I know so and so. I know so and so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I started working with artists in that way. Before I left school, I got an internship on the north side with this dude named Busy. And he just knew a bunch of MCs from around the block, a couple of producers. He's like, I need somebody to come in and organize this. I need
Right.
somebody to get the artist right. I want to do the business. Let me set up events. He was from Memphis. Let me talk to my folks in Memphis and the music down there. Let's see if we can get popping.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a whole lot of experience. Bro brought me in. He came to Marquette and was looking for folks. Ain't nobody was like, I don't know about dude.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like,
right.
yo,
Yeah.
me, I'm like, it's an opportunity. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So I went out there. It was like bro was off 76 and Green Tree for my Milwaukee people know where that is. So we had a studio out there. He brought in all these cats, Versatile and Drama and all these cats. He's like, yo, make it happen. Here's the equipment. So I went down there. It's like a Roland 2480, like a digital board. He had like a 414 and Triton keyboard and all this stuff. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, this is it. But I didn't know how to run any of it. All I knew was the 8-track, and I can hang my mic from the hanger. We're gonna get it in the bedroom, and I'm gonna plug into my stereo, and it sounds dope.
Right.
So the
that was gonna be
first
my
time
next
I
question
got
too.
there,
Yeah.
right, I slept there and just put my head into the book. I said, bro,
wow.
can I stay here overnight? He's like, yeah, that's cool. Because he's like, yeah, I'm bringing an artist probably on Thursday or Friday. I'm like, well, it's Tuesday. I never even run this equipment. But that's what it was. It was sink or swim. So I just went in there and just tried to learn it the best I could and work with folks. And what was starting to happen is that I was improving my skills. I took this chance to improve my skills, even though there's a fear there that I don't know how to do this. I don't know, bro. I'm not sure what's going on.
Right.
And then I'm starting to learn how to work with people. People are coming in and say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. How do we make that happen? Oh, I want my stuff to sound like this. And it's starting that thing in me to start to learn to troubleshoot and problem solve and kind of do that on the spot. And not because you don't always have time to say, yo, let me go ahead and prepare for this and make sure I'm ready. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But you got to be able to sink or swim regardless. And that's what kind of got me more into it as far as media music. When I graduated, I started my record label. So in 2005, I started a record label called Deuce Deuce Entertainment. Started out my apartment on 22nd and gosh, where was I? 22nd and Kilbourne, in Milwaukee. So that's close to Marquette, slightly off of a few blocks away from Marquette on the north side or whatever. When I left that internship, I learned a lot of things. I learned a bunch of things that I found that works as far as dealing with people in the music. And I found some things structurally that didn't work, that put people off. So regardless, if I wouldn't have taken that chance for that experience, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have had as far as a basis to start my own thing.
Right.
Now to start my own thing, I look back on it, that seems crazy. I mean, to say I'm going to graduate from college and start my own record label. I don't think I quite understood what all that really meant. As far as,
Yeah.
you
It's a
know, it's
lot of
one
work.
thing, just it is a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
one thing to make music, but to be honest, as it grew, that became the smaller and smaller part of
Mhm.
the label. It was understanding people, handling personalities. It was learning how to
Mhm.
do website SEO. It was marketing and promotion. It was talking to venue owners, talking to other managers. It was rehearsal. It was setting up video to make sure we see what we're doing, and then we can review the video, and then we can set something up different for rehearsal. It was all these other things that, when, at least for me, when I first started, I
Mhm.
didn't take into consideration.
Mm.
And that's why I look back
Yeah.
and say, man, that was crazy. That was incredibly ambitious. At the same time, with my time in, you know, moving around in the different school systems,
Mhm.
I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna
Right.
say I felt like I had a chip on my
Mhm.
shoulder. Let's keep it 100.